Hey y'all. So it is the beginning of June and we need to do a garden tour. So my neighbor's mowing. Hopefully you'll be able to hear. I think he's done now. So when you first walk in, our roses are needing to be trellised over, but we have a bird building a nest in here, which is fun. The first trellis is the Kajari melons. And we have a bunch of babies. In focus. Some that are a little bigger. And some that are about the size of the palm of my hand. It is about to the very tip top of the trellis. So if it goes all the way across, perfect for me. Our peppers are starting to grow. It's really hot. It's been very rainy, so they're doing very good. We are starting to get, I don't know why that's not focusing. We are starting to get peppers on them. Some of them's had like one or two, but I've kind of pulled them off so that the plants could grow a little bit more. Our sunflowers are massive. These are the sunflowers from Sunflower Steve. That one is probably 12-13 feet in the air, and the bloom on it, the head on it, whatever it's called, is so gorgeous. It's a deep red color with a orange around the tips. That is probably the tallest sunflower I've ever grew. That one is a close second. That one's probably about 10 feet tall. We do have some back there that are multi-heads that are close in the same color. And they're pretty tall too. These are the herbs. We have rosemary up top, and then some basil, and some more basil, some parsley at the bottom. Some oregano. Oh, looky here. We have one there and one there. We will leave them be. I think them are called swallowtails. We have some babies there. And we have that guy there. There's another little one. I thought they only like to be on dill, but obviously they like parsley also. And I don't mind sharing. I haven't been using that parsley a lot anyway, so if they like it, I'll leave them to it and let them have it. He's a big one. This one has basil. That basil's not doing too good. Some lettuces are growing back, but they're bolting almost instantly because it's so hot. The bottom of this one's not planted. This is Tulsi basil. I keep this for tea, which is big enough now that I can start harvesting and making tea out of it. And then this is chocolate mint. I've not cooked with this yet, but I do like, I love the way it smells. It smells so good. We have some on this one too. This is dark opal basil. I use a lot of basil in my cooking, which I cook a lot of pastas and Italian food. And I use a lot of rosemary, a lot of oregano, and thyme, which thyme is right there. Not really too much parsley or the dill. The dill just started growing, but if they're gonna get it, I'll let them have it. So here's another sunflower in the corner of this pepper box. It's not quite as big as the other ones, and it's not opened yet. There's the other ones. There's this one. This box has random tomatoes in it. These were all the extra tomatoes that I had, and I put some in this box and some in another box, and I figured they'd do better in here than just dying. I do have some tomatoes on them. There's a bunch in there. They're not staked up. They're all fallen over. But there's tomatoes, so I'll leave them. I'll probably plant this out sometime soon. My strawberries are doing good. We are still eating strawberries off of them daily. This is about the average size I'm getting. I don't get enough to like can or make jelly with. So we went to a U-pick and I did that. Nova's standing here because she likes the ends of them. So we just leave these in here for snacks when I'm in the garden. I do come in here and pull off all these dead leaves. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I do. Just makes it look prettier. This plant right here was the one that was thriving. We picked so many strawberries off this, and I don't understand what happened. It just, I mean, it was fine 2 days ago, and that's what it looks like now. So that's fine. I'm gonna take this out. I was wanting to take it out anyway because that's the only one that was living. And I mean, we planted them in each one of them, and that was the only one. We did bare roots, and this was the only one that took. So I'm gonna take this actually out of the garden, or I might leave it in here, but next year I'm gonna plant plants in it. Or flowers. I don't want to put strawberries in it since we now have 3 green stalks of strawberries. This is the carrot bed, and I'm sure most of these are going to be ready to pull soon. They're pretty big. This is our birdhouse gourd, and we have 2 big ones there, 2 big ones there, a medium size and a little one, and we have a ton of other little ones. Well, I thought we did. Maybe we don't. Oh, it was all right here. So we had one there, one there, one here, and one there, but they all died. I'm not sure why. We did have an extremely hot week this week. This is the first week we've had that's been hot, and it's also got this on the leaves. So maybe it's something going on with the plant. This green stalk has random flowers in it. These are all ones I started from seed. It didn't do too swell. This was my sunflower wall. None of these sunflowers got tall. None of them's opened but one. Well, a couple of these little ones have. But not really much of a wall. I guess I should have put the sunflowers in here. This is my nasturtiums. I have not been watering these, y'all. So I'm sure that's why they look so sad. Maybe we'll do better next year. Here is another sunflower. This one is a multi-head, and it's probably about 10 feet tall. Here's another multi-head, but it's only like 4 feet tall. That's a patty pan squash. This is what the extra tomatoes look like. So that's why I threw them in that random bed. Figure in the random bed, not staked, is better than dead. This is that Seminole squash we got at a farmer's market, and it is trellising pretty big. It's all the way at the top, and we have our first squash on it. These leaves are massive. I mean, my hand's not the biggest, but they're still ginormous leaves. We have some eggplant here and an eggplant here. And this is a sweet banana pepper. This is the crazy tomato jungle. Now, we have tomatoes. Some of them have damage already. We have a ton of caterpillars on this stuff. But we have some very, let's see if I can get to them, beautiful fruit. I'll probably go ahead and take that one in. These are different plants on the back side. So this is what the caterpillars are doing to them. Look at them all. That is crazy. There's so many on here. I want to spray some BT, but it's supposed to rain like every day. So I don't know how much good it's gonna do. But we do have some fruit, and the U-pick is open, so I'll probably keep what we can get off of these for fresh eating and go to the U-pick and pick a bunch of those for the things I would like to can. This is the potato bed. They are ready to dig. I'm actually probably going to dig them today since it's supposed to storm tomorrow. That is another sunflower right there and right there. This is another sunflower that has spillover. Should be standing up. These are our radishes and our Swiss chard. Something is obviously eating that. I cooked with this. I liked it. Nobody else liked it. I might do one plant next year, just enough so I can have some. And I've still been harvesting off of these just for me stuff, but I'm not going to do, there's probably 10 plants here. I'm not going to do that many next year. That is my asparagus bed. I didn't harvest for like a week, and that's what it looked like. So now I can't even harvest if there's anything in there to harvest. So we'll try it again next year. Okay, so these are all zucchinis that I planted. I planted all of these at the same time. This is one plant, this massive plant. That's one plant, that's one plant, and that's one plant. And this is the only one that grew. I did plant some more in the in-ground garden, so that's good, but we do have one here. We have this little multi-head sunflower. We have that multi-head sunflower. This is a squash, and them two are okra plants. I did a line of okra, but them are the only two that came up. These are more of the tomatoes that I just threw in a bed so that they didn't die like the ones you saw back there. I'm not pruning them or trellising them. I tried with these little stakes, but they fell over, and I just don't have time to get in here and do that again. So I do see some bug damage on them. So I'm assuming there's caterpillars on these too. This wild jungle is, there is 3, these tall ones are tomatillo plants. So there's 3 of them, and they are starting to get some tomatillos on them. Yeah, there's some more in there. So you have them 3, and next to them you have, it's just hard to see, but you have ground cherries. And I'm not a big fan of the ground cherries. I thought that was going to be better than what they are. So this was my first year growing them. Oh, look at that tomatillo. It's not big, but the paper is big. Here is more of the ground cherries. I'll eat them, but they're not my favorites. Then we have this multi-head sunflower. Here you can see the color really good on them. This is one close to me, so I can zoom in a little bit on it. Very pretty. We'll have heads down here too. We have 3 pepper plants here. 1, 2, 3. Cannot pronounce the name of it. I don't know if y'all be able to read that. The marker ran. They're a snacking pepper. Hopefully these tomatillos and ground cherries will not shade them out. Note to self, next year, don't do all this together in one bed. I didn't know it was gonna get that big. Over here we have jalapenos. We have some jalapenos growing. We have another sunflower. We have another random tomato because I was running out of spots to put tomatoes. And back here is our cucumber. We've already been harvesting a bunch of cucumbers off of this plant. We actually have some more to harvest today. So we're gonna harvest some after this tour. And I gotta trellis this up so it'll start going towards the top. It's almost reached halfway. These are the green beans. I'm gonna actually come back in here in all these bare spots. I'm gonna go ahead and plant more, direct sow some more green beans because we love green beans. There's a lot of them ready. We've done harvested 3 1-gallon Ziploc bags of green beans. They go all the way up. There's a bunch in there ready. Green beans are one of our favorites, so I want to get some more sown in that. I'm going to try to succession sow them all year long while I can. This is the random pepper bed. I need to get in here and get... All right, I got them all staked up now. This is just a random pepper bed. Nope, I lied. This is the bell pepper bed. So everything in this is bell peppers. And that poor nasturtium that ain't got watered. This line is just shito peppers. This line in the middle is habanadas. And this line is poblanos. So I need these for when I make my salsa. Hopefully we'll get some soon. Now over here in the in-ground garden, this is the first time y'all are seeing this. I have not been able to get all the grass taken care of. It was either give a garden tour or mow the grass. And considering it's fixing to start raining today and it's supposed to rain a couple of days, I decided to do a garden tour because this garden is exploded and y'all haven't saw it in almost a month. So this row is another row of potatoes. All the way down. It's just extra potatoes we had. In here, I planted something. I don't even remember what it was. I'm not going to be precise on these. I know what's planted out here. I don't know what's planted where. I haven't did any tags. But whatever I planted right here did not take. I think it was a pumpkin. These are, I want to say these are some squash. This is a row of okra. I know it's hard to see, but they're there. Oh, wait, there. So there's a whole row of okra here. These are a pumpkin. This is another pumpkin. I know we have 3 pumpkins in here and 1 squash in here. So between this, and this, 2 of them are pumpkin, 1 of them's a squash. This is a row of corn. We're not going to talk about this row of corn because you can't plant just a row of corn. It's not going to pollinate the way it needs to, so just disregard this. I'll feed it to the pigs. This row and this row is sweet potatoes. So they're starting to vine. I need to get in here and get all this mowed and then go through these rows and get them cleaned up. But I haven't had time. When I got home, I've not had time to do any of that, or it's been bad weather. There's something else we've changed, which is right here. So this green stalk, I have planted out all my yarrow. Well, I have yarrow there too, but this is a yarrow that I split up into a bunch of different pieces and a bunch of mums. I don't know if you can grow yarrow and mums in a green stalk, but we're fixing to try. That green stalk, we still got to revamp that. We moved all the roses to the back. So we moved some things up here so they're not looking to swell, but we just did it yesterday. So they're probably in a little bit of transplant shock. So this is going to be small flowers. I took all the lilies out of here. I don't want anything super tall. I'm gonna get a bunch more daisies. I really like the daisies. And I moved all the fruit trees that are not in the ground over here on the edge of the slab so I can water everything at one time. We still got to do irrigation in this bed, so it'll come off of the above ground garden and it'll come all the way around the greenhouse in this garden. In this we have an artichoke I took out of a pot and put in here. It's came back, so it's starting to grow again. We have some chamomile and some calandria. These roses are so pretty. Right here is the echinacea and black-eyed Susan. This is the back. Again, we moved this rose here, so it was very hard to move it. The roots was very in the ground and I had to break some roots, so that one may not survive. If it don't, these are the 4 rose bushes that I got at Walmart for $4. So, or 5, 6, excuse me, I forgot about that one over there. So we'll see if it comes back. If not, we'll replace it. These are turning out to be some of my favorite flowers. These are so gorgeous. This one's already been bloomed and it's starting to die, but we have new ones coming on. They're so pretty. I have a lot more of them. I think those are zinnias. This is the rose bush we moved a while back. These are my pink lemonade blueberries. They're all picked. Peyton's been picking them for me. This is my hibiscus that is starting to come back. That is the other artichoke. I'm going to dig that one up and put that over in the bed so we can take this box up and we'll be able to walk completely around the greenhouse. Those are my shampoo gingers, some snapdragons, some daisies, and a couple other things down that way. But we moved that rose bush from up there, so I'll be able to walk around and not get stuck by roses. So I'm pretty pumped about that. That's my peach tree, my grapefruit tree, and my fig tree. And then here are the rest of the tomatoes. So these I've actually been eating. This is one of my Mad Hatter peppers. We put them in pots this year. We learned they're starting to get peppers on them. This is the other one. Again, they're in pots because they take up the whole bed. Y'all, I just can't get over how good these tomatoes are. These are called Napa Chardonnay. And they do not last long. So all of the tomato plants out here have a ton of tomatoes on them because they're not getting as much sun. They're getting more shade. And I think that's helping. So we will probably do a very long box back here. I would use these, but they're tearing up fast. They're just cheap boxes from Tractor Supply. I mean, they wasn't cheap. They was about $10 a piece, but they're already breaking. And this is only year 3 that I've had them. So when they're gone, I'll probably do a long box back here, and I will definitely put tomatoes back here, and I'll be able to stake them up, and there'll be no tomatoes in my garden. That way I have room for other stuff like green beans and other things, because these plants look way better than the plants that are in the garden. Grapevines are growing. This one's going crazy. We got little grapes on them. Thought there was more. There might be more. I need to get in here and prune this. Grapes need very good airflow, which, I mean, right now it's not too bad. And here it gets a little thick, but trellis these to go that way some. Blueberry plants. We've got a bunch that are coming on. Like I said, Peyton keeps this picked. If we don't, the birds will get everything off of it. But she did forget these 2 and this one. So, garden snack for me. Blackberries are also staying picked. We have a rabbit, which was not a big deal. But then that rabbit got a girlfriend, And we have like 27 rabbits now. And the rabbits like to eat the same things we like to eat. So we just have to beat them to it. My plum tree is pretty big. We have 3 plums. 1, 2, and oh, well, there's 3. And looks like the ants got to it before we could. So that sucks. Leave that down there. Let the rabbits have that. This is the first year on this tree to have fruit, so I'm hoping next year's, fingers crossed, that we get a bunch, because I love plums. This peach tree, I don't know what's going on with this peach tree. I thought this year the peaches were getting big, so I was like, yay, we're gonna have peaches. This peach is hard as a rock, and then none of the other ones got big. So I don't know. I do need to do research on that, but I keep forgetting. The apple tree, it was going hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. This tree didn't know what to do. None of the apple trees did. I do have a few apples in here. I've ate like 2 or 3, and we got probably like 10 more between the 2 trees. So not a good year for apples, but a fabulous year for hydrangeas. Oh, this bird's nest was in the tree right here, and she laid 4 eggs. I could see her out of the window when I was cooking. She laid 4 eggs, and Peyton said she was in there making some coffee or something one day and watched a bigger bird come in and eat the eggs. So she came back, saw there was no eggs, and then left, and I guess the wind blew the nest out of the tree. But back to these hydrangeas. They're so pretty. Blue is such a pretty color, and they are that way all the way down. So I'm gonna see if I can propagate them. So that is the update for June on the garden and how everything is growing. And if there is significant change in the next week or 2, I might try to do a mid-June garden tour, or at least take y'all along to harvest some stuff. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Bye, y'all.